I've faced monsters. I've fought beasts that could tear a man apart. But nothing could have prepared me for what happened that night. Because sometimes, survival isn't about being strong. It's about being smart enough to know when you're not. The night was quiet. Too quiet. You know that feeling? When the world holds its breath right before something terrible happens. That's what I felt. Not loud. Not obvious. Just heavy. Like the air itself was pressing down on my chest. I was sleeping. Or at least, I thought I was. But my body knew better. My instincts fired before my eyes even opened. Something in this world, in this system, had trained me to sense danger on a level I didn't even understand yet. And right now, everything was screaming at me. I didn't even need to wake AKO up. The moment I moved, just one movement, his eyes were open, full alertness, no confusion, no where am I moment, just understanding. That's the kind of bond you build when survival is literally your daily job. We didn't speak. We didn't need to. We just moved. Now here's the thing about panic. When you're in a real life or death situation, panic is death. Running in full sprint? That attracts attention. Predators are designed to chase things that run. So what do? You move. Fast. But controlled. Purposeful. Like you know where you're going. Like you're not terrified. Even though you absolutely are. But it didn't matter. None of that mattered. Because they were already too close. I could feel them now. Not see them. Feel them. Like ice water running down my spine. And then, we saw them. Black. Obsidian black. Darkness that seemed to absorb light itself. But these weren't just black wolves. These were something else. The smallest one was nearly 3 meters tall. Think about that for a second. Not 3 meters from head to tail. From shoulder to the ground. I've seen houses smaller than that. Obsidian pack wolf. Level 28. Rank D. Obsidian pack wolf. Level 28. Rank D. Obsidian pack wolf. Level 28. Rank D. Obsidian pack wolf. Level? Rank? Level 28. I was level 14. That's not a gap in strength. That's not even close. That's a chasm. A void. An impossible distance between us. And the system. The system was literally telling me in big flashing letters. Asterisk, you are not equipped for this. Asterisk. Asterisk, this is not your fight. Asterisk. Asterisk, you will lose. Asterisk. I couldn't even read the alpha stats. Do you understand what that means? When the system can't even calculate the threat level, you're looking at something beyond your comprehension. It's like an ant trying to understand a human being. Not just stronger. Fundamentally different. I looked at AKO. He was already looking at me. That moment, that single moment of connection, it told me everything. Can we fight them? I didn't ask, can we win? I asked, can we fight them? Because I already knew the answer to the second question. Not 4. That's all he said. Just, not 4. But in those 2 words, was every ounce of truth we both needed. If it was 1, maybe 2, we could make a stand. But 4? 4 apex predators, level 28, coordinated, intelligent. That wasn't a fight. That was execution. They moved like they'd done this before. Because they had. 2 to the left. 2 to the right. They didn't rush. They didn't panic. They spread out with precision. Like generals executing a battle plan. And that's when I realized, these weren't just predators. Predators hunt on instinct. These were hunters. There's a difference. A predator is dangerous because it's powerful. A hunter is dangerous because it's intelligent. These wolves were both. They were reading us. Every tiny movement. Every breath. Waiting. Watching. For the moment we showed weakness. I had seconds to think. Fight? Impossible. We'd be shredded. Run? Too late. They were already too close. The distance was closing. Where? I looked around desperately and saw it. Those rocks. Behind us. Maybe 10 meters back. There was something there. A cave. An opening. Small enough that maybe, just maybe, those massive bodies couldn't fit. But I couldn't just run. Running looks like panic. Panic triggers the hunt response. So I did something different. I did the opposite of what prey does. I showed them power. I locked eyes with the alpha. Not a fearful glance. Full eye contact. Dominance display. Then I opened my mouth and for one moment, the world changed. It was like that sound carried more than just noise. It carried intent. Well, threat. The system wasn't even giving me a skill description. It was just roar. Fear. Rank based on my level. 6 seconds of absolute dominance. 6 seconds. That's all I got. It sounds short, but when you're counting down in a life or death situation, 6 seconds is an eternity, and I was going to use every single one. We moved. Not running. Not walking. Sprinting. Full speed toward those rocks. Behind us, one of them lunged. I dodged. The air where my head had been milliseconds ago exploded in a spray of dirt and stone. If I'd been any slower, Ikeo didn't hesitate. He went straight for the cave entrance. I followed one step behind. The lead wolf, the one that tried to slash me, hit the entrance full force. And stopped. Dead. Too big. The opening was maybe 2 meters high. This creature was easily 3. It couldn't fit. But the relief was short-lived. Because all 4 of them circled the entrance and began to wait. We didn't move. They didn't leave. Minutes passed. Then an hour. Then 2. This was no longer a fight. This was a test of patience, a test of will, a test of who would break first. So I watched them, how the alpha positioned itself, always facing the entrance, always watching, never relaxing, how the others communicated with subtle ear flicks and growls I barely heard, how they rotated positions taking turns to be more alert. Even at rest, this pack was more disciplined than my entire approach to survival had been. This wasn't an enemy. This was the top of the food chain. And me? I was nowhere near it. Yet, after hours of silence, the alpha stood, stretched, and turned. It looked at me through the cave opening one last time. Not with hunger. Not with anger, with acknowledgement, like it was saying, you passed, not by defeating us, but by knowing when not to fight. The others followed. 1, 2, 3. The alpha last. Gone. Just like that. Experience gained through evasion and tactical retreat. Level 15. A level up. For not fighting. For running. This world doesn't reward pride. It doesn't care about your ego. It doesn't honor your bravery when bravery is just another word for stupid. This world rewards survival. And survival is the only victory that matters. I thought I needed to be stronger, faster, more powerful. But that night, the night the obsidian wolves hunted me, I learned that the strongest thing you can do is know your limits and have the wisdom to respect them. Because the monsters that killed in this world, they weren't the ones that attacked. They were the ones that didn't know when to run.